EA Sports brings you a special edition of the National Football League for this Halloween matchup. It's the Steelers and the Browns, next on Madden NFL 22.
We come at you from the shores of Lake Erie. EA Sports has the coverage of the NFL from First Energy Stadium here in Cleveland, Ohio. The folks here in Cleveland, even though all the down years, have never stopped supporting their hometown guys, and we got evidence of that a moment ago as the Browns made their entrance. They are ready to do battle with Ben Roethlisberger and the Pittsburgh Steelers. Hi again, everyone, with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, we look at this Browns ball club. They come in playing pretty good football. Winners of 4 of their last 6 games. Meanwhile, for the visiting Steelers, they come in feeling good after back-to-back victories. Lurching closer toward the midway point of this NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. Fielded just outside the goal line. Oh, a good-looking return set up here. And a good return, able to get out across the 35 to the 36. The Browns set to go on offense for the first time, led by Baker Mayfield in his 4th season now from Oklahoma.
And while we can quibble a little bit about statistics, to me, Baker Mayfield's coming off his best season yet. 26 touchdown passes, cut way down on his turnovers, and led the Browns to a playoff victory for the first time since 1994. This young man continues to mature as both a passer and a leader.
A first carry now for Nick Chubb. And not the start he was hoping for there, as he'll maybe get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Call it no gain on the game's first play. And it's 2nd down now. Now Mayfield. And right away, he lost the football. Points 1, 2, and 3 in their defensive game plan was to get to the quarterback and knock the ball free. They did it there. Luckily, offense hangs on to it.
Yeah, that's got to serve as a wake-up call, though, because they can't afford to let the ball go over to the defense and miss opportunities. And I'm not saying it happened here, but you know what a good rule of thumb is when a play like that occurs? You know who usually recovers it? The guy who missed his block and let his quarterback get hit.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect. And he was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. McLeod to return it. They'll get 9 yards on the return there following a punt of 42. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. Steelers here ready to go to work for the first time. And the grizzled vet, Ben Roethlisberger, bringing him out now in his 18th season in the National Football League.
And you've got to think that they've got to be feeling pretty fresh. You know, coming off of the open week, didn't have to play, right? Gives them a chance to rest up a little bit, heal some of those aches and pains, and excited about playing again. That really rekindles things a little bit. I want to see how they come out and establish themselves here early.
And that bye week coming right where they want it, in the middle of the schedule. On 2nd and inches, Roethlisberger. He finds his target, Ebron. And he's got this down to the 35. So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. And he's got the first down, yardage before being taken down at midfield. They're able to convert with a gain of 4.
That's about what you would expect since they're so efficient on picking up third downs in the top 5 in the NFL. It's all a mindset, and I'm guarantee you, it started in the offseason. Third down's important to them. They find a way to pick them up at a very good clip.
He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. Now Roethlisberger. And this one's incomplete.
You can tell they wanted to get that ball downfield. They had nothing working in the secondary, so he dropped it off to the running back. That one ended up incomplete.
Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. Here's Roethlisberger. The completion good. This is Eric Ebron. And he will have a Steelers first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. So, Charles, defensively here, you're going up against a veteran quarterback. He's got a lot of know-how, a ton of savvy, but a guy who's not the most mobile of quarterbacks. What's the plan of attack?
You spend all week pumping up your defensive front. Your defensive tackles, your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys who go after the quarterback the most, because you know that he's not going to run and beat you consistently throughout the game. You can rush more aggressively off the edge and even up the middle, because even if he evades you, he's not going to go very far. You have a lot more confidence going after him in the pocket.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. They'll run here with Balazs. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things, and it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. Now they'll throw it with Roethlisberger. It's brought in by Harris. And out of bounds right around the 20. 3 yards the gain there, 2nd down. We're scoreless after 1. Steeler football here to begin quarter number 2, as they've got it facing a 2nd and long situation. Out of the gun, it's Roethlisberger. Quick hitter here, it's complete. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. From the gun, it's Roethlisberger. Nowhere to turn this time, and he goes down. Sack back at the 29. Myles Garrett has now recorded 10 sacks on the season.
What a banner year in 2020 for Myles Garrett. Gets his Cleveland Browns to the playoffs for the first time in a long time and had 12 sacks to lead his team. He's averaged more than 10 sacks a year in his 4-year career and was named All-Pro for the first time after the 2020 campaign.
And Boswell's kick is good. And the Steelers will jump out to a 3-zip lead. So as it turns out, that sack doesn't wind up costing them, Charles. They at least get points, get 3 of them.
Yeah, that's where your kicker can really come to your rescue, because you know after the sack there was a little consternation there. Are we out of field goal range? Are we going to be able to get 3? In this case, he stepped right up and gave them exactly what they needed.
And he returns this to the 22. Second drive coming up here for Cleveland as they return to the field on offense. And they are over 500 for the season, 4-3. They got back above 500 with a victory last week. And, Charles, you think this is a very important week for them, do you not?
I certainly do, because when you start to do the math, and yes, I'm using my fingers to count. If you're 4-4 at the midway point, let's say you're saying 10 wins is your cutoff line for a playoff berth. It's usually right around that number. A loss here, all of a sudden you've got to go 6-2 down the stretch just to reach 10 wins. That means this game is vital.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. On third down, Mayfield. And he gets it to his running back, Nick Chubb. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. The 21 yards there as they convert on third.
Well, they showed a 5-receiver set, had the backfield empty, and lined the running back out to the left. Plenty for the quarterback to process both pre- and post-snap, but he was able to find his man, and it turns into a big play.
On 1st and 10, Mayfield. It's caught. Beckham. 7 yards the pickup there. 3 yards remain for second down. Here's Mayfield. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. Landry again, the intended target. 3rd and short yardage, Mayfield. And this is going to be incomplete. The passing game not in sync here early, and now it's 4th down. And here's Gillen on now to punt as he gets this one away. They'll score that a 36-yard punt, and the Steelers are going to take over 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. So Pittsburgh retakes the field for their second offensive possession, and they enter play here in this one on a 2-game win streak, plus they come off the open week as well. So this is a team that has a lot of things working in their favor.
Oh, it certainly is, and let's face it, this team is playing so well. The worry now is that after a few extra days off, they'll be sluggish coming into this game, so I've heard that he spent more time in practice working what they call good versus good, starting offense versus starting defense. They want a fast start in this next game.
Right back to Claypool, this time complete. And he'll take this across the 25 before going out of bounds. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a 1st down. They hand this off to Harris. And he'll push his way forward to about the 32. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. Second quarter, 2 minutes remain. 3-0 our score. Coming up at halftime, we remind you once again that we're going to check in with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL as we reach now, hard to believe, the halfway point of the season. Time flying.
It certainly is. Time to get the sweaters out, my man.
And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a 1st down. Here's Roethlisberger. He's got the hook up to McLeod. And a loose football. And this is picked up by the Browns. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line.
We have seen this before, and we know coaches preach about this and work on it all the time. Catch the ball. You know there's going to be some traffic somewhere. They've got to put it away and secure it as they try and get downfield.
The offense trots back out there. Let's turn our focus now to Nick Chubb. Those are his numbers through roughly the first half of the season, and given that, you'd have to think he's on pace for a 1,000-yard campaign.
Steady as he goes. Steady goes the offense. But you know what else is happening, too, because they are a team now recognized with the ability to run the football. You've got to be able to throw it better now, right? Better throwing lanes, better opportunities for the guys downfield, maybe more one-on-one coverage, which you should be able to beat easier. Yeah, he's establishing not just a tone, but an identity for his team.
And that's a discussion we had a couple days ago in the team meetings, talking about this running game, opening up the passing game. We'll see if that continues to happen. Now a throw to the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete. Now Mayfield lost the football. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. So danger averted for the moment, but now here's a 3rd and long. Mayfield hands it off to Chubb, and that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. Here's Jamie Gillen now as he's on to punt for Cleveland. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Here's McLeod on the return. That'll go as a 42-yard punt, but a net of 32. They had a 10-yard return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Steelers taking over now late in this first half. And you wonder if they'll just take this 3-0 lead to the locker room. On 1st and 10, it's Roethlisberger. Completion here to Claypool. Now the Steelers use the second of their 3 timeouts as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go before halftime. From the 36, Roethlisberger. This one into the hands of the running back, Balaj. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. Now the Steelers going to use their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Now Roethlisberger to throw. And they get to him with the pressure as Roethlisberger goes down. Myles Garrett has now recorded 10 sacks on the season. So we are at halftime here on Halloween. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, make sure you avoid the crazies out there and welcome in everybody to this Halloween edition of our EA Sports Halftime Report. Lastly, let's check on one final game for you. And you can see they are scoreless as they play the second quarter. Time now for a check of the next-gen stats in that first half for the Steelers. And it was a tricky half to figure out numbers-wise. They've got the lead, but you'd figure they're definitely talking about ways to get this passing game back on track. Meanwhile, for the Browns, they too have found passing lanes to be hard to come by so far. As you see by the numbers, they'll need to figure that out in the second half.
Okay, Coach, thanks as always. This one's still anyone's game as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. Ray McCloud to return. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22. The Steeler offense now with a football first here to begin the third quarter. And they've got the lead. CD, what do you think the message was at halftime?
I don't think the message was too drastic, I think, at the half, or that they need to change things too much. I do think the offensive line could play a little bit better. And I think they'll try and help them out more. They'll probably keep a tight end in a few more times and maybe add a running back to the formation to pick up those pass rushers, because they probably allowed a few too many sacks for comfort in the first half.
Harris. And he'll take this one for about 4 up to the 40. The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. On the give, this is Harris. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down.
Oh, that's a very good run there by Najee Harris, who can take it inside. He can get to the perimeter. He can do it all with his build and his speed. This is a guy coming out of Alabama who did everything for the Crimson Tide. That's why Pittsburgh took him in the first round. Last in the league in rushing as a team last year were the Steelers. They're expecting Harris to kickstart their running game. 3
yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. From the shotgun, it's Roethlisberger. And he's taken down. This will be a Brown sack. Malik McDowell coming right up the gut. Gets in there for a loss of 9.
We are seeing 2 really confident defenses imposing their will on these offenses in this game.
Yeah, absolutely, going toe for toe. Just curious if one of these offenses can wake up a little bit.
Is there any way they can find something that can pop, something big to knock them back on their heels?
Open man completes it to Claypool. And he'll be out just a yard or 2 shy of the 30. That was no 3rd and 2. That was 3rd and 16, but they get the conversion anyway. Now Roethlisberger on first down. finding room to the 20 and down to the 19-yard line. He was held without a catch in the first half, but he's got one here, and he also picks up a first down. I don't know what they talked about at halftime. Whatever it was, it worked. They looked like a different team here in the third quarter.
Yeah, I doubt that there were very many trash cans that got kicked over, that type of a speech. I think what they did was they analyzed what worked in the first half, what didn't, and figured out a better game plan.
He'll get forward for 3 down to the 16-yard line. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Roethlisberger. He's got Claypool for a Steeler touchdown. Chase Claypool, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Steelers take the opening kickoff of the third quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. Circle that drive because that might be one to remember. Well executed to give them a little cushion.
Well, let's take it into the boxing ring. You talk about them commanding it, keeping the fight where they wanted to, whether it was in the center of the ring or putting them on the ropes because it was jab, jab, jab. And finally, the haymaker to put that drive away.
Boswell good with the extra point, and the lead grows to 10-0. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. Taking it about the 1. And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20. Call it the 21. Here's the Browns now. They get set for their first possession of the third quarter. And their deficit a little wider than it was at halftime. Does that touchdown a minute ago change the thinking here at all?
I think it does, at least a little bit, because now urgency has to start setting in. You can't go out there and go 3 and out and run the risk of falling behind substantially, but you have to do it without pressing, because pressing, that'll lead you into bigger errors.
Throwing on 2nd and 8, Mayfield. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. He was trying to go back to Beckham there. Mayfield from the gun on 3rd down. And that is incomplete. Here's Jamie Gillen now as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. Fielded at the 33. So holding there on the return, and that'll back him up to start the next drive.
Yeah, that's a pretty easy call right there, partner. I think when the officials look in their manual and see the expression jersey getting pulled, that's a flag coming out every time.
And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down. That'll be taken in there by James Washington. And he goes out right around the 39. A 5-yard pass on the heels of a 5-yard run. Good enough for the first. Off the play fake. Here's Roethlisberger. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Harris. He's going to be out of bounds on what's going to wind up being the final play of quarter number 3. And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. And we're back now here in Cleveland. It's Steeler football, and they have the lead as well as we begin quarter number 4. From the 40 now on 2nd down. Roethlisberger. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And this is taken in at the 5. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Well, for Ben Roethlisberger, he had the elbow reconstruction back in 2019, but he does not appear to have lost much at all, as that was a rocket.
And as that ball was hanging in the air with the receiver streaking downfield to meet it, here in the stadium, you could just sense the crowd thinking, oh no! And their worst fears were realized as that one turned into a long touchdown.
Extra point put through by Boswell, and that makes our score 17-0. So that drive, 4 plays, and it ends with the Steelers finding the end zone. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. This one fielded at the 5. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21. And the Browns getting set to go. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And okay, all right, I'm being facetious here, but you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
Mayfield now looking to throw on first down. Looking sideline, incomplete. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. To throw, Mayfield. He's going to float this one deep right side. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down. The Browns on 3rd down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 10. Working out of the gun, Mayfield. And that's incomplete. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. Desperation time. Mayfield on 4th down. He's going to float this one deep right side. And this one is incomplete. The Browns unable to move the chains on 4th down. And the Steelers, they're going to take over an excellent field position. Well, at this stage of the game in the second half, down 3 scores, I guess they felt like they needed to push.
And let's face it, with this deficit, if they give up another score here after they didn't get it, does it really matter?
Right.
It really doesn't. They had to go and try and make something happen if they had any chance of winning this game.
65 yards on the ground for him so far. The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. Here's Roethlisberger to throw. And he fires one incomplete. The Steelers on 3rd down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. Roethlisberger will throw. He gets it left side to Johnson. And the Steelers are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points. Now it's Roethlisberger. That escapes, but now he's swallowed up and taken down.
He's the NFL sack leader coming into the game, and now that's 2 more that he's added to his total.
He wants some separation from spot 1 and 2 in that sack category. Another try after the first down sack. Roethlisberger under pressure, and they got to him again. Jadeveon Clowney showing the explosiveness on the sack.
Signed in the offseason, Jadeveon Clowney, everywhere he goes, people expect to see what we just saw. Him chasing quarterbacks and putting them on the deck. He's been around in this league a number of different places, but in each spot, the expectation is that he may get double-digit sacks.
It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down.
That's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
Boswell's kick is good. And the lead now increases to 20-0. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
From the 6. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped it to 23-yard line. With the football going back over now to the Cleveland Browns. And last time, went for it on 4th, didn't get it. We'll see if they can pick themselves up off the mat and do better this go-around.
Sometimes I have this vision of coaches writing notes to themselves before a game. And sometimes that note says, be aggressive, stay aggressive. Maybe that's what we saw in the last possession.
Yeah, they were very aggressive. This time, will it result in points? We'll find out. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. Mayfield on first down. Oh, this one incomplete. The pressure got to him as he released it. And it's second down. Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Mayfield. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up 3rd down. Going to the air again with Mayfield. And he's caught on the sideline, but he's not going to have a first down. They say he was out of bounds. So a big call there. That brings up 4th. 4th down, Mayfield. He's going to let it fly. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And the Steelers, they're going to take over an excellent field position. So they tried to go for it for pride, but it really wouldn't have mattered. This one, it was already determined.
No doubt about it. This one was over a while ago.
And he's going to get this inside the 30. 77 yards rushing for him now as he's run it 11 times. First down, and they go back to Harris. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4. On the ground, it's Harris. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1. So this one in the win column for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And this was truly a total team effort, Charles, on both sides of the ball.
Well, they absolutely pitched a shutout, so it can't get much better than that, right? The defense led the way, but the offense did their part as well. They moved the ball up and down the field, so you've got to like what you saw. What do they call that? A total team effort? I think when it's time to hand out game balls, guys from both sides will end up getting one.
So for the Steelers, they move back over 500 now at 4-3. And they'll head back home next week to take on the Chicago Bears. Meanwhile, for Cleveland, they drop back to 500 now at 4 up and 4 down. And they'll try to turn things around next week as they have a matchup in Cincinnati against the Bengals.